I've pulled out of the fast lane, dropped down a couple of gears, and I'm adventuring along a once familiar route, the old N1. So here we are, Dundalk, from the Irish Dundalgan, meaning the fort of Dalgan. Legend has it Cuchulainn was born here, and Bill Clinton gave an historic speech as US President right here at the town square. And Dundalk has also earned a reputation for the thing that keeps on bringing me back over and over and over again. Football.
Comes the Cavendish, he passes over it. Robbie Bass his team through and going. Can he put it in? Yeah! It's all! Rana hasn't rocked it. Even rocked it. This is something I never thought I'd see in me life. This is why we love football.
And it's occasions just like that have ensured that Stephen Kenny and his team remain the talk of the town. Tonight Dundalk are hosting a top-of-the-table clash. The only catch is, I'm here to support the visitors. Cork City! Stephen Kenny's men weren't the first Dundalk outfit to make waves though. The Dundalk team of '63 became the first League of Ireland side to win away in Europe. And on that team was the legendary one-arm striker, Jimmy Hasty. Born in Belfast, the teenage Jimmy Hasty lost his left arm on his very first day at work in a mill. He went on, however, to become one of the finest footballers in the country. I never actually saw Jimmy Hasty play, I was too young. But as a boy, going to games in Cork, I remember the old fellas talking about him, and I also came across these intriguing photographs in an old match programme. I expect I'm going to find out a bit more here in the County Museum, where football has become history. The museum has a treasure trove of Dundalk FC memorabilia, much of it dedicated to that great 1960s team.
So there's my father there, and that's Jimmy.
I'm meeting Paddy Malone, whose father Jim was the man who first brought Jimmy Hasty to the club.
He heard about him, went up to Belfast and saw him playing in a minor match on a Saturday afternoon. So impressed with him, signed him there and then, and gave him a personal cheque as a signing on fee. So the board met the following Monday night. Dad was chairman, and he proposed to sign this fella. But unfortunately for him, somebody in the board knew that this was a one-arm person, and all hell broke loose. So the idea was, we're not getting him. So Dad had to explain then that he'd already signed him and that he was a Dundalk player. And the answer was, well, Jim, it's your cheque, your problem, we're not covering it.
Convinced of Hasty's talent, Jim Malone persuaded the board to play him for one match only.
After 20 minutes, one of the directors put his head around the door and said, Jim, whatever you're owed, take it out of the gate. He's after scoring one, making a second, and he's unplayable.
As thousands flocked to see him, Jimmy Hasty's fame spread across Dundalk and even reached the school playgrounds.
We as kids, we would tuck our arm inside our jersey so that there was only one arm free and one arm with the dangling of the empty sleeve. And that's the way we all learned how to play football, because we all wanted to be Jimmy Hasty. My mother used to wash the jerseys occasionally, and that's me there pretending to be Jimmy Hasty. There was no such thing as disability. Jimmy Hasty was a god because he was that good.
Although Hasty's talent is legendary, most of it is remembered through photographs and stories. That was a beauty. I, however, have got my hands on the only film footage of Jimmy in action. And who better to share it with than his old teammates, those golden boys of '63.
Smack of the ball.
Discovered in the caverns of a Swiss TV news archive, this is the lads playing Zurich in that European Cup game. I mean, clearly you were a good outfit. You'd won the League of Ireland, but how good was Zurich? They had a couple of internationals today.
Oh, yeah. There was a fella playing outside right, the flying postman. Yeah. But he didn't deliver in Zurich.
John Murphy, a good friend of Jimmy Hasty's, was centre-back and captain on that 1963 team, and remembers well the impact they made on landing at Zurich Airport.
The doors of the plane opened, and Timmy Lyons got off with his arm in a sling. Davy McCarvin had a walking stick, he had an ankle injury. Our trainer, Jerry McCope, had a limp, and he came like that, like, you know. And the next thing, Jimmy Hasty comes out with one arm. And someone says, this is the wrong plane. This is going to Lourdes, it's not going to Zurich. We went out there and we played the game that we always play, good attacking football. And we had them hammered 2-0, and they were at 6s and 7s. And they were the happiest team ever to get off the field.
What's Jimmy here now, look?
That's mercy.
Also watching the match with us are Jimmy's sons Marty and Paul, and his grandson PJ. I mean, I no doubt you've got loads of photographs of your dad at home, but what was it like looking at the moving images from there in European football?
That's just the same, probably our first time ever seeing him. We weren't even born yet. Yeah. But just growing up, listening to all the stories, and just it was a pity, like, we never had the same play. You don't know, are you sad, are you happy? But just seeing it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Just did this well.
To play in the Champions League, that was a European Cup ban, and scoring and winning. First Irish team ever to do this feat. So proud of him. Unbelievable.
The murder came less than 12 hours after another killing in the Belfast suburb of Newton Abbey. The man, a 40-year-old Catholic, was walking to work along this street in North Belfast when he was shot dead. Police say the gunman got out of a car and fired 3 shots at the man's stomach. The man staggered across the street and dropped to the ground. He was a married man with 2 children.
In 1974, Jimmy Hasty became the innocent victim of a tit-for-tat killing. His sons would never see their father again. I mean, you were only little boys at the time. The way he died was absolutely horrific, really, when you think about it. Can you bring me back to that time?
Just after my 7th birthday, and Paul was about 2.5 then. Just normal, like fella going out to work, and just got down the bottom of the street, turn left, turn right, and somebody walked up behind him and shot him in the back. He was taken away from us. I still to this day don't understand why my dad, one arm, my dad didn't, all he loved was football and his family.
They say in the town that Jimmy Hasty lit up Oriel Park before it ever had floodlights. And, determined to keep his flame alive, Jimmy's old friends have arranged a presentation for his 2 sons, Paul and Marty.
As we all know, Jimmy's name lives on in Dundalk. Even the present day, if you go up to Oriel Park tonight and you mention Jimmy Hasty, people will talk about him. And that's how well loved he is in the town of Dundalk, and always will be. We heard the league medley 1 is missing, and on behalf of the Dundalk team of 63, I'd be delighted to present you with this replica medal for the Hasty family.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Speeches. Just over the moon. I just think of him this day, 55 years later. Thank you very much.
Yeah.